so like, I don't know what's going on. Is like if I were to use the Discord app, my internet will crash, and I don't know why.
Okay, yo, did you press the share chat button on Twitch?
Bro, if it's gonna be war, it might not be conducive for a proper discussion. Not gonna lie.
No, trust me, don't worry, man. We're gonna figure this out. Trust me, I'm telling you, press the share chat button. It's gonna be much easier.
All right, cool. All right. It's up.
Okay, so now what we're doing, yo, mods, enable emote only mode.
Ooh.
You see, it's that easy, right?
Yeah, true.
And this is how every single one of these talks should go. I don't want to get into that shit yet, but when we start talking about, you can take it out of emote only mode. But when we start getting into the debate, we're gonna slap that bitch in emote only mode. It's gonna be easy, right? We're gonna take care of this shit. Yo, did you see my new cat?
Yep. Banjo. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he's a baby.
Bro, why do you? Would you name Paimon?
No, but look at this baby.
Yeah,
No, Mr. He sees you. He thinks 1,200 calories. Yeah, he's Chinese. He eats cats. Can you believe that little guy? I know. Look at that. Stay safe on the couch. Don't go near his streams, okay, buddy? Yo, so what you been doing, man? How the past 3 days been?
Oh, it's great. It's great. It's been a lot of attention on this discussion topic. Yeah.
You did a really good job of inviting the most people who have no idea what they're talking about to debate this topic.
Oh yeah, it's like wait, what do you mean? I think it was not that bad. All right.
I mean, inviting Kate to a debate is like, man, what are you doing? That's just insane.
Why can women not debate?
That bro doesn't play shit, bro. Like all those people don't even play gotcha games. Like, who'd you even talk to? You talk to like V, no idea what he's going on. Captain Cabinet, you've never heard me debate before? Trust me, I've heard enough. Yeah, don't need any of that shit. Who else was it? Who else was in that call?
Ethan and Connor Tots.
I mean, who? You know what I'm saying? Who? You didn't invite no dogs, man. Like, what you doing?
That's not very nice, bro. I appreciate all because I did say like I invite like content creators kind of talk to me. So yeah.
No, you said like you. What you're doing is you're doing what professional wrestlers do, which is
like it's a paid. It's like a okay.
No. So what you do is there's this term called jobbers, right? And you invited a bunch of jobbers to put you over by getting on like a hot win streak, right? Get a couple easy W's underneath your belt. You say, "Oh, I 4v1, guys. I 4v1." You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, but they were like 100 pounds. You were like 250 pounds. So, you know.
Right. Yeah. Paid actors. Okay. Yeah.
And also, oh man, I don't want to spoil anything else after. I will say, full disclosure, I only have a surface level understanding of what's going on. I'm just trying to talk as much shit just to make it a little bit more fun for chat.
No,
but,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay, but okay, wait. How do you want to start? Because I've made a second video that is kind of going up tomorrow, but yeah.
Yeah, I ain't watching all that.
Yeah, absolutely. You have to. It's at 1 hour plus.
Sarah gave me a surface level understanding of what's being discussed.
Sarah, absolutely.
Yeah, because I feel she's like your head mod, probably very trusted. I don't really want to do this shit yet. I just want to talk.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, we can just talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So how are you, man?
I'm good, man. I'm very, very good. 2025 is great.
You swear?
Yeah, I swear.
Okay, good. All right, because I know sometimes people get back from war, they get like
PTSD.
Want to make sure everything's okay at home. You got a girlfriend yet?
Nah, I'm chilling. I'm single.
You know, Box has a girlfriend.
Yeah, I know. He's like steady. It's good for him, but.
Yeah, and that girlfriend is ruining his fucking life, man. I'll be real.
Absolutely, bro. Barely even streams on like YouTube anymore. It's like, I told him, man, like just focus on hustle. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't see him. He doesn't message me, you know? Like, every time I see him, he just says, get the fuck out of my chat. Yo, Sabby, what up, boy? Good morning, man. Good morning, man. But yeah, yo, did you play Marvel Rivals yet or no?
Oh, I'll play probably next week, yeah. I'll probably play.
You know, I was plat last night, and then I just got bored. We hit diamond.
It's so good, this game.
I mean, it was easy, man. Like, that game is easy. Like, legit. Like, that game was stupid easy. Like, the games, and I shit you not, the games in plat were easier than the games in bronze. I shit you not. Because once you're playing with people who have a basic understanding of the game, you can calm with them. and you can get them on the same page. Now, there was only one guy I had an issue with, and get this, his name was Poopy Fart Pants, and the guy was just trolling hard as fuck, and we had to 5v6. That game was hard as fuck, but every other game was so easy.
I bet.
As long as you get a proper team comp, and you can express the severity of it, hey guys, if we don't get this comp, we're going to fucking lose. The games are pretty fucking jokes, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. Diamond still feels like bronze, dude. I agree, dude. It said I was better than 99.62% of players, and I'm not even trying yet. I honestly probably could have got Grandmaster, but I don't really care that much. Anyways, fingers crossed that Leroy and Shinya got it before they went to sleep, but also, who cares? We'll just get it next season.
Good shit, bro.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Yeah, so HSR, we're feeling good about it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. Hell yeah. How are we feeling about Woo-Wah?
It's good. It's good.
How are we feeling about Genshin?
It's good. It's good.
Okay, how are we feeling about Zenless?
Oh, it's really good. The 1.5 live stream just dropped. It's really, really good.
Did you wake up for it?
It's like my normal stream time, like 7:30 p.m. my time. So like I watched it.
That must be so fucking nice.
Yeah.
Did you fight the holograms and Woo-Wah?
Yeah, I finished. Dude, I finished it way before you, by the way. Like so way ahead before you, and like all these like drama tourists, I'm just giving bug, yeah.
Dude, I haven't even finished the story yet, man. There's just so much shit going on nonstop. It's insane.
Yeah.
Why are you trying to Coke? Oh, yeah, by the way, this cat is a little garbage cat, and he loves anything. I mean, bro is eating French fries. Like, this cat is so bad and so hungry, bro. He's so cute. Oh, my little guy. All right, so you wanna just get into this shit?
Up to you, man.
All right, yeah, let's do it.
All right.
All right. So,
Ooh.
and I kind of want to use this as a tutorial for anybody watching, because I know the majority of people that you argued with, debated with, are all in the chat right now. So I kind of want to be this as like a learning example on how to actually debate and communicate as human beings. Now, I will say, first things first, and you're more than welcome to cut me off at any time.
Right.
I would like to say I'm going into this conversation with nothing but good faith in terms of MrPokke. And the only thing that I want right now, I do not seek to embarrass this man. I seek to inform the chat, and both of us get to a mutual understanding and closer towards the truth of this matter of what I only assume to be, and I use that word very specifically, the power creep issue in honkaistarrail.
Yep.
Okay.
Spot on.
I would like to state my biases. Obviously, chat, before getting into this conversation, I would like to let you know that I am a content creator who has been blacklisted from Hoyoverse. I do not have any financial incentivization from the company themselves. In terms of Hoyoverse, they have agreed to never sponsor me again unless I'm able to seek that from third party, aka Twitch. I have no reason to back this company whatsoever. However, there is some financial incentivization as far as YouTube and Twitch goes to cover their content and farm a couple subs off of it. Okay. Would you like to state your biases, MrPokke, or no?
Yeah, same. The only bias is they gave me the creator early access, and I made those videos. Pretty much it. I don't have like contract. I don't have like a monthly salary. It's basically it.
Okay.
Yep.
Great. So let's start with something that I'm going to teach everybody at in the chat which is the pre-argument phase.
Okay. Should I type this off?
No, you don't have to. But this
okay.
This is something that is really important to do to actually make sure that you two are talking about the same thing.
Okay.
It's really important because, like, for example, someone could say that they believe in God, and another person could say they don't believe in God, and they could be still sharing the same beliefs. And the reason why that is because if you don't know which God they're referring to, then they actually don't know what they're arguing about.
Yep.
So that's why it's really important to establish that there is a disagreement to begin with. Yeah. So let me make sure I'm understanding this clearly. What definition of power creep are you using?
The Wikipedia definition.
Which is what?
Power creep definition. Noun power creep. Collectible games, the situation where successive updates or expansions to a game introduce more powerful units or abilities, leaving the older ones underpowered.
Okay, great. Now, I would like to say before we begin this chat, I more so agree with MrPokke than I disagree. This is not a conversation where I'm seeking to disprove everything that he's saying, because I do believe in a lot of what he's saying is holding a lot of truth. I am going to scrutinize it slightly. But to flat out disprove everything he says, well, the thing is that you guys have to realize is that MrPokke essentially just said grass is green, and then everybody got upset about it. Right? So there is no need for me to go and disprove everything that he's saying, but I want to talk about a deeper meaning and understanding of what the games of honkaistarrail means and how it affects his players, and see if he still positively supports that.
That's great.
So I think it would be fair to assume that this whole topic of conversation was started based off of the root point, which is HSR has a power creep problem only if you allow it to happen, either by greed or stupidity. Change my mind.
Yep, exactly.
Okay, now, do you still stand by this tweet?
I am standing by my point, and I'm waiting for someone to change my mind, so I'm open to it.
Okay, great. All right, super simple. All right. So just before I begin talking about this, why do you think you believe this? Like, why do you think that you believe this?
Okay, so like, I've explained myself like a lot. I think, first of all, do you believe that there is a difference between whether or not there's power creep, and as well as whether or not power creep is a problem? Do you think there's a difference?
Yes, I do agree. Absolutely.
Okay.
I think there are games like World of Warcraft where power creep is natural and it has to happen and it actually feels good. I think it's completely fine when Vanilla becomes Burning Crusade becomes Wrath of the Lich King becomes Cataclysm, and everything from pre-existing expansions essentially gets reset. I'm okay with that. Now, I do like how there are some certain cosmetics that carry over, but as far as having to redo the power balance, I think that's absolutely fine. So yes, I do agree that power creep is sometimes good and sometimes it's bad, yes.
Okay, the reason why I wanted to bring up this point is because I'm just going to compare like gacha games. So, gacha game like Zenless Zone Zero, I think there is a very strong power creep in terms of like Miyabi versus Ellen Jo. She's like a lot stronger. They are both ice DPS, and every role that you want to use Ellen Jo, you would just use Miyabi. I think that is a sign of power creep. But I don't think that is a power creep problem for almost anyone, because there's nothing that really makes the player feel like they're in pain using Ellen Jo. You know what I'm saying? Like Zenless Zone Zero's endgame content is like so accessible, and like there's a lot of side games like Tower where even if you are someone that's not running Miyabi, you can still do everything.
Right. So you said
not a problem.
You said something around the middle mark that I just didn't quite catch.
Sure.
Could you say that one more time? It was about Ellen Jo does something.
All right. So whatever you want to run with Ellen Jo, Miyabi can do it better. So that is a power creep.
Okay.
Yep. But like from this current standpoint, right now, from what I see, I can't predict like the future. There's no power creep problem yet.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like, it's not a problem. Yep.
Okay. Awesome. So this is your tweet, and let's just break this down. So my job, what I am trying to do here, is the only thing that I want to have happen is you see what I believe to be a user error of this tweet. And what that user error is you saying, now, once again, I thought this was hilarious, and this is a tweet that I think I would make. Okay, that's why I didn't combat you at all on this. I said I knew he was capping wars back on the menu. This tweet made me so fucking happy. Full disclosure.
Okay.
This was awesome, and you know what? It gave as much content as I was foreseeing. All right. HSR has a power creep problem only if you allow it to happen, either by greed or stupidity. Change my mind. All right. So this tweet to me reads, and I think it reads to everyone, that HSR power creep is not by design. It's only by player stupidity. Because this tweet says this issue only happens if you allow it. So would you not agree that this is essentially feigning ignorance to a company's malpractices?
No, because this is basically me saying that power creep doesn't exist, right? Or rather, power creep is not caused by the company, it's caused by the player. But I'm not talking about the existence of power creep. It's to whether or not power creep is a problem for the player.
Okay. So, all right. So if there was a massive hole in the road, right? It's a giant crater in the road.
Sure.
And there was a sign up that says jump, but a lot of cars can't jump or use a plane. Wouldn't you still think that road doesn't work?
It would be a very bad road, yes. To the point where the cars can't even pass through unless they have a plane. That would be a very bad road, yes.
Yeah. So I think even though this issue could be circumvented by strategizing and monetary or proper monetary and time and investing, this issue isn't caused by the players. The causation is the company, but it's up to the players to solve it.
The causation of power creep is because of the company. Well, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
And yes, it is up to, yep, I never said otherwise. But yeah, whether or not this power creep's existence, does it affect the player, is based on like what they do.
Right.
Knowing
Now,
that there's already power creep, yeah.
I do think that you did say that, because when you're saying that, and I quote, this is only a problem if you allow it to happen, right? I mean, that is putting the fault on the players.
If it's a problem, it's because they allow to have it. Yes.
Right. But the thing is, the company made the issue happen. The players can solve it, but it's not the players' fault that it happened.
Okay, what is what is the issue that is created from this? What would you say the issue is? I'm not talking about whether power creep exists, but like, what is the issue caused by power creep?
Okay. All right. So I haven't changed your mind yet that there's a company, because I'm going to get to there.
Yep.
So I haven't changed your mind, because I do these. There's a company problem first and then a consumer issue second. I think it would be fair to say that the company did want power creep to exist.
Yes.
And I'm going to.
Yep. Correct.
Great. All right. So this issue is now no longer a player issue. We can both agree on that. This is a company first, but the players do have the power to fix that issue. That's pretty much the only thing that I wanted to talk about. And I think that's a lot of things that my community want to talk about as well. You know, the community that's been shitting on you for fucking 72 hours.
Yeah.
By the way, moderating that community sucks balls, because I'm the only guy. I'm the only mod for 19,000 people. It sucks. All right. So power creep is created by the company. It's up to the players to solve it. I actually do believe it can be solved. Absolutely. Now, what you asked me is, just to make sure, you asked me, what is the problem with that? Or is that not your question?
What is the problem with what?
Yeah, so I wanted to make sure there was a company issue first and a player issue second. You said, what is the problem with power creep?
Yeah. Like, what do you think is the problem derived from power creep? Like, the problem. Yep.
Okay. Now, once again, I would like to say that I do think power creep can be good in a lot of games. I think it's completely fine in World of Warcraft, to give an example, because I'm okay with expansions power creeping previous existing gear. Guys, I'm sure we would all agree with that's fine in certain scenarios. I feel like that's just common sense that, you know, power creep happens in MMOs and it's fine. Every new expansion is like that. But power creep in gacha games, I feel like is a totally different beast. And the reason why that is now players are not only investing thousands of hours, but now they're also investing thousands of dollars. Now, I do believe that every character can work if you fully invest in them and you build a team fully invested for them. However, I don't think it feels good when the clears feel more so, you know, when Jing Yuan first came out and it was like, oh yeah, Jing Yuan, fucking lightning lord, banish them, big dagger, huge fucking damage appearing across the board. It felt fucking great.
Yep.
Now, Jing Yuan can still totally work.
Yep.
But the problem is, it doesn't feel like Jing Yuan's winning. It feels like Ruan Mei, Sparkle, fucking Acheron, or not Acheron, or what's his name, the gay guy, Adventurine, is like taking him by the legs and dragging him across the finish line, saying, come on, old man, you're going to clear this whether you like it or not. And it doesn't feel like these characters are clearing anymore. It feels more so that I'm dragging their cold, lifeless body across the finish line and saying, yeah, guys, see, look, it's a fucking Jing Yuan clear. No, it's not. It's support star rail. It's fucking insane. So that's one of the issues, is that the characters that I want to feel good using, it feels more so that, like, rather than pull a character and it feel good, it's more like have these supports and make them look good by dragging their cargoes across the finish line. The other thing is that in these games, now I'm very personally affected by this. Full disclosure, Kafka is my favorite female from Honkai Star Rail. We all know it. I am a sufferer of one of the poor folk the poor common folk who still believes that dot can work, dot can change. Please, honkaistarrail, please release a dot enabler. Can you please release a character that I want to use? Now, obviously, I had the opportunity to use the gay fox guy. I don't know his name. I think it's Xing Cho, or
Cho, yeah.
Chao
Yep.
Jiao Cho. Because power creep exists, that is making me want to pull for a unit that I don't want just so I can use the characters that I do want efficiently. Now, it sucks because I'm gonna be real, bro. I was getting my ass beat in MOC. And so like the little pay piggy that I was, I pulled for Black Swan's Light Cone and I pulled for E1 Constellation just because I wanted to be able to use these characters like I once did. Because when the characters first came out, they felt fucking fantastic. But now they feel so shit to what I could be using. It just makes me as a player feel stupid while I'm playing them. Yeah, it feels like ass. And I don't like this part where I'm getting to. Now I need to pull Eidolons for them to feel the same as, let's say, something that the Bugatti of Honkai Star Rail players use, which is the fart team, right? Right. And I have some other points to talk about because this issue obviously exists in other games. It absolutely does. However, guys, I want to remind you guys that in the 1800s, everybody had slaves. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean that it's okay. Yeah, so this is an issue with Honkai Star Rail that I also see that is very easily circumventable by using incomparables, but I don't want to get to that yet. But yeah, that's where my issue is. The characters that I want to use, I'm now feeling like I have to pull other shittier characters to make them feel a quarter as good as other characters. And it doesn't feel like I'm playing the characters. It feels more so I'm dragging the characters along rather than winning with them.
Okay. Right. I think whatever you're feeling is 100% valid, right? But I do think that let's just talk about the first, which is Jingyuan, right? Now Jingyuan feels like he's like a support, like he's dragged by the supports compared to last time, because it's basically like a Robin showcase or like a Sparkle, like a Sunday showcase, and it makes Jingyuan really really strong. I think this point inherently, it's a little bit hard to prevent from happening because Honkai Star Rail at the end of the day is like majority focused on team building. Even if you don't factor in like Robin or like Sunday, Jingyuan is still extremely powerful, much more powerful if you were to use him with the right supports like Ting Yun or like Bronya or like Asta. So it's not really a case of like recently Jingyuan got dragged. It's more like supports are like a integral part of the game to Honkai Star Rail. So whenever they release support units that make all these units like stronger, I don't think it's that bad because it is kind of like how the game is meant to be played. I think an example right here is, for example, all these other games, like in like Wuthering Waves or like in Xenosaga Zero or even in Genshin Impact, if you wanted to play like an old unit and they felt really, really strong, you technically could if you wanted to play them like solo or like no-hit runs, and they would still feel really, really strong. Because team building, I would say, for all these other games, is not as important to Honkai Star Rail because you are still having a lot of freedom when you play them in-game. You can dodge, you can parry, you can Kara cancel, swap back, all that kind of stuff. But Honkai Star Rail is not, right? It's basically just to build a team, and that's like what determines if you clear the stage most of the time. It's the team building, and when you actually go into battle, most of the time, the casual player base wouldn't even feel a difference between like the auto button or like actually them playing themselves. So I think the argument of like Jingyuan is now like support dragged. For Honkai Star Rail, it doesn't really define that as power creep because I do feel that it's part of how Honkai Star Rail works. It is like Honkai support rail. You have a team, and the supports are like fundamental for like all these like different teammates. Not just Jingyuan. For any DPS, you would need a very very strong support to make them pop off, right? And then for your Kafka point, which is
I agree with you. No, I completely agree. Make sure that we're on the same page here. I agree.
Okay. Yeah, then I think for a Kafka point, which is like Kafka is like bad now because it makes you like, you want to pull for like Eidolons, or you want to pull for a Light Cone, your Black Swan Light Cone, you want to pull for Jiao Qiu, but you don't even want that Jiao Qiu, but you really want to play with Kafka. So you feel that, oh shit, like they used to feel like so much better, but then nowadays, you know, because of all these power creep, all these new units, what you pulled last time don't feel as good as what they were last time. And if you want them to feel good again, or like you want to clear again, you want to pull for all these Eidolons and Light Cones. Right? That was your thinking.
Of course.
Right.
Yeah.
But okay, I think my point to that was, I thought about this like just now before I start stream, which is basically, I think a lot of players in Honkai Star Rail, they have this disillusion of like what to expect from a new unit, because on release back then, a lot of these content that people would use the units they pull for would be majority of the time endgame content. Like I think we don't pull for Jingyuan or Kafka just to clear story, right? You probably use them for the endgame content like Mirror of Chaos. So I think a lot of players kind of forgot that back then they felt really, really good, not just because it was the strongest of their time back then. There was no power creep. It was also because the environment they were in, it was tailor-made to them. Like the different buffs as well as the different enemies with the right elemental weaknesses and DOT, they had all this. So it made them feel artificially inflated. And I think people might not even notice that they were artificially inflated because the moment it moves on to the next new unit, all these buffs go away. Now, not just the MOC buffs or like the different endgame buffs, but even the enemy units, they'll change, right? They will no longer be lightning weak. They will no longer be, get all the DOT buffs. They have different mechanics, and it makes it feel worse. But the thing is, this will always be the case because that's how honkaistarrail wants to sell these brand new units. And that's where I think is the true definition or like truly how honkaistarrail creates power creep. It's not like all these units are like dog shit now. It's just that they make this false expectation. Okay, you put for this DOT, which is supposed to be super good, but the moment they move to the next one, they make the next one feel even better and better. But all these time, these units that you put, they didn't get nerfed. It is still the same unit, and technically speaking, they can still clear all of the endgame content. It's just that you wouldn't get the same feeling that they felt back then because that was like a false feeling. So yeah, that's what I would say.
Yeah, so I do agree that the majority of characters can clear all the content depending on who you pair them up with. I do think that is a skewed perspective. I don't think that's entirely true. I think you can make a single unit clear all of the content depending on who you pair them up with. However, I don't believe that an Arlon, Serval, Pela team.
Oh, right. Yep. Absolutely not. Yeah.
I do think you can make a single unit work by pairing them with 3 broken supports, but I don't think everything is balanced where 4-star survival. Also, that was a creepy as fuck image in the chat.
Oh, shit.
So the other thing that I wanted to really tackle here is I believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, I believe that you said that this is an issue that has to happen in Honkai Star Rail.
I think
power exists in Honkai Star Rail.
I think they will keep doing it. Yep. And for the record, it is like 100% predatory. This is on the company. This is not on the player. The way this is all on the company. Yep, I agree.
Okay. Now, can I explain to you why it doesn't have to exist in Honkai Star Rail?
Sure.
Okay. This is going to be an interactive part, and I'm going to explain this to chat, and hopefully they can understand this. Now, this is, once again, I have worked with a video game company for nearly 2 years now. I understand quite a bit about game design. I also went to college and about 2 years of video game theory and understanding why things work. Chat, do we know, because a lot of people think it's Acheron, do we know where power creep started to exist in Honkai Star Rail? Do we know what specific unit? And MrPokke, I'm curious, and I want to know if you agree. What character do you think signaled the beginning of the end? Honkai Star Rail.
Okay, I don't think it's the end, but like, I think Ranmei, it was the first unit that changed a lot.
Okay, so MrPokke says Ranmei. It's crazy how not a single person in chat is. Oh, there's one. One person found it. So the correct answer, guys, and I want to explain this, and hopefully you'll understand why I'm saying this after. The correct answer for who fucked up Honkai Star Rail is actually my least favorite character, a character that I swore I would never pull, and I never did. And that character is Silverwolf. And the reason why Silverwolf completely obliterated the game is she made the turn-based RPG into the strategy RPG into just an RPG. Because there is this thing in every single game that is designed well called incomparables. Now, designers and developers at Riot Games understand incomparables very well. So here's how Honkai Star Rail used to exist, right? You needed to match the blue guy with the blue weakness, the red guy with the red weakness, the wind guy with the wind weakness.
Yep.
But now, weaknesses no longer work. And the reason why they no longer work is due to characters like Boothill or Silverwolf who just ignore them and they cheat the system. And the reason why that's so fucking bad is because now incomparables can borderline not exist in this game to at least a severe as a degree as they once were. So the basis of Riot Games is like 140 characters that all do similar things, but they do them different. Similar damage numbers, but they do them different. Now, what's more, dealing 33 damage 3 times or dealing 99 damage? What's more, dealing 25 damage 4 times or dealing 100 damage? So what used to could have existed, which is the ice guy is going to hit this mob for 100 damage. Then you can have an electric guy who's going to hit this guy for 100 damage. You're going to have a fire guy who hits this guy for 100 damage, a wind guy that's for 100 damage, a imaginary guy for 100 damage. But now none of that exists. So the elemental system has now been completely broken. And now we can no longer have incomparables that would have been healthy for the game. Guys, I'm sure you would all agree that if we had the ability to use those systems that were put in place of Honkai Star Rail, which did you enjoy those, MrPokke, or did you not enjoy playing around Elemental Weakness?
Playing around, yeah, I like the elemental system. Yep, I like it.
Yeah, I liked it too. The game has now become incredibly harder to design. So we can no longer use the elemental system in order to differentiate characters from doing similar things. Mods, can we put in emote only mode? Thank you. So we can no longer use those systems as elemental weaknesses because Silver Wolf ruined the fucking game. So now we have an optional incomparable, which is dot, follow up, true damage, summons, so on and so forth. Now, my question to you, MrPokke, is why does follow-up attack have to be 3 times as strong as dot when you could let them do the same damage, but the way they deal that damage just be different?
Why does follow-up deal 3 times more damage than DOT?
Yes.
I think it's really because DOT themselves and archetype has not received like any updates for a while. So like all the new archetypes is not because of the archetype itself, but it's more like these units keeps getting the upgrade because it's like they're like the flavor of the month. So like we haven't gotten a DOT upgrade for like a long time. Maybe if you consider Robin upgraded with Black Swan and Kafka, but like follow-up specifically dealing 3 times more damage to DOT, I think this point can also be a little bit debatable because if we because I played the latest MOC, right? The clear rate for follow-up right now is actually not too different from even the old DOT comps because the environment that is catered towards the end game is not as favorable towards follow-up damage, which is why I say that the power creep, this whole power creep thing, is not because of a unit or a archetype. It is mainly tied to the environment in which Hoyoverse they artificially boost to all these different team comps in order to sell this rate up units. So like right now, for example, like Savrock as well as a Wolf, if you were to use a follow-up team comp, which is like Fei Xiao, you have to one by one snipe the little trotters, which is gonna take more and it's gonna be more annoying compared to DOT, which technically is gonna be faster when it applies their AoE and like their DOT. So because of that, I don't think that follow-up would deal 3 times the damage of DOT. So yeah. Well, but I kinda wanna go back to the elemental system as well, which is the elemental system kinda sorry.
Would you not agree that like Super Break does like 10 times the damage of dot?
Yeah, but there's the thing is all these things they always have a catch though. So for example, like if you were to use the Super Break, right? Super Break, they have all these elemental implants, but one thing is they don't implant resistances. So they don't reduce the resistance. So even if you have the ability to deal toughness bar damage, the enemy will still have resistance to that said element, which honestly most of the time when you want to use these like off elemental units, it's still it's not as smooth as if compared to if you just use them on the right element. So I think the elemental system is not like completely out of the table, and that is only pertaining to Super Break. Most of these like other times, if you were in an off element situation, you would most likely be worse off than if you were on element, which is one of the also reason why Jingliu, she has not gotten a very good clear in like Memory of Chaos, not really because she got power crept by all these units, but it's because we haven't gotten an Ice Week stage for a very long time. And now that we got an Ice Week stage, she actually performed a lot better compared to previous times, which once again goes to show like the environment is like the main factor of power creep Honkai Star and not specifically tied to the units.
Yeah, but I think that's one and the same, right? Because if you're playing a video game and they make every boss weak to this type of character, well, then it is one and the same. It doesn't really matter if the environment's the problem, not the characters. You still have to pull the characters to conquer the environment. Wouldn't you agree?
You will put a character to conquer the environment right now, but the thing is the environment is going to change. Which is why I think most people they get this problem of they're chasing the shiniest things and then they realize that they can't keep up because the environment will keep changing every single time they release a new thing. So sure, for this current point, the new unit now is gonna be super good against this boss for this period of time. But the moment they change it again, it's gonna go back. Like for example, if you want to talk about like Fei Xiao, when she released, she was like super strong. But it's not just because of the fact that Fei Xiao is very strong numbers, but it's also because the environment was made for Fei Xiao, and they changed it. They changed it for like to benefit Yun Li, and they changed it to benefit like Exo Toughness, and now they changed it to benefit like D Herta for the Trotters. So they keep changing this environment. So even if a unit was strong now, it wouldn't last for a very long time unless the players know that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. I 100% agree with you. That is how the game's designed. Now, I want to ask you, what impression do you think that leaves on players?
It will give them FOMO. It will give them a lot of FOMO because now players feel that their old units are like unusable. They're a lot worse because they had this false expectation that these old units, when they put them back then, it was supposed to be super strong, but they didn't factor in the environment changing so quickly. And then I was like, oh shit, it feels super bad. And then it creates more and more FOMO because all these units, they always get paired up with the right elements, the right environment, and then it creates this cycle. So yeah.
Yeah, so it gives players FOMO, and it also probably doesn't feel too good as a
Yeah,
player
absolutely.
to just realize, oh, well, this new character I just pulled is garbage in 6 months, and I can pull the new character, but it's going to be garbage in 6 months. So why even end up pulling whatsoever? And that's probably going to lead to a lot of players quitting, don't you think?
I think this really depends on who really plays honkaistarrail because I feel like players that don't care about endgame, which is like majority of the honkaistarrail player base, like they have never seen endgame at all, they wouldn't even really care if the endgame changed by that much or their players or their units that they put for didn't matter or like weren't as strong because they probably put for like casual reasons or like waifu reasons. So for these players, which is still the majority, I think they will still keep playing the game. I do believe that this group of people which you mentioned, which is every single time they pull for this new unit, they don't feel as strong anymore, and then they have to pull for another one to feel as strong again, they are gonna probably want to quit the game because they don't have the same feeling of strength they had last time compared to now. But the thing is, you don't need to feel that strong in order to technically beat the game. You technically beat the game by getting full 3 stars and you clear all the rewards. Sure, it sucks. It definitely sucks, and it's intended to feel like shit. It's definitely on the company, but a player wouldn't need it. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, no, don't get me wrong. I mean, I think a lot of people think that Honkai Star Rail is the be all end all, is their memory of chaos. It's just not. The be all end all for Honkai Star Rail is the story mode. And that's pretty much the majority of what people care about. We've seen that with raw statistical data, showcasing many times that only 6 to 8% players have actually cleared MOC or even bothered to do it.
Yep.
So yeah, no, I 100% agree that if you're just pulling, you can pull whatever fucking character you want to beat the story. Absolutely, 100%. Absolutely. So I feel like the casuals can kind of be taken out of this conversation because, and I'm gonna say this, guys, if you are casual, you don't need to pull any of the premium banner units on repeat. You don't have to keep up with who's meta this time, who's meta that time. Absolutely. But I do think this conversation was more so towards the hardcore players that do play this game, that do take the meta seriously.
Okay.
Yeah. So for those players, obviously that's going to feel like shit. And just because they're not in the majority doesn't mean they deserve to be neglected.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And it does just kind of really put a bad taste in your mouth that these characters that I want to use, I cannot use them, or at least use them to the degree of which I want to, because whether people want to talk about it or not, and I think it's pretty obvious, this is completely by design. The old toys are meant to feel like the old toys because they want any incentivization to pull for the new toys. And I feel like you understand that 100%.
Absolutely. Yep. It's by design.
Yeah. Now, I don't think that it's impossible because all they would have to do is make each archetype have a purpose for whatever environment it's placed in. Like, so for example, the Dot team, every issue with Honkai Star Rail right now, and I would love to know if you disagree, is we released these new characters, we made them really strong, we gave them a huge buff, and we made everything have 15 million HP. Have you seen the graph of the first MOC to the current MOC?
Yeah, I made a lot of videos about it, the Excel and everything, yeah.
Yeah, like the first MOC was like, I think 2.5, 3 million HP, and now current MOC is 15 to 16 million.
Okay, no. Okay, the first video was like a few 100,000. Nowadays it's like 5 million-ish. But yeah, I get there's a lot of HP inflation.
Okay, yeah. So
Yeah.
I would say a factor that we can agree on is that the difference between the first MOC and the current MOC is about a difference of 15x.
Yep, sure.
Great. I mean, you were implying a 50x, which is fucking insane to me.
Yeah.
I didn't see that, but I'm going to take your word for it. Maybe it was a 50x, not a 15. Then it's a lot worse than I thought, unfortunately. But I really think that HSR is doing lazy combat development by saying, make characters have more HP and then make whatever preferred archetype do a billion more damage during this fight, rather than implementing mechanics like, okay, this character takes more damage on its turn, which would help dot and follow up attack. Or this character, obviously it's pretty hard to balance around super break, but you know what I'm saying, where it's like dot and follow up will have more natural advantages towards units that were designed to be weak to them. Kind of like how Pokemon has this fire Pokemon is weak to water. So if you use water, it is 1.5x.
Yep.
But getting to a situation to where it's now a factor of 15x or 50x to feel like the norm, because that's how it is for most games. You hit a grass type Pokemon to a grass type Pokemon, you're dealing 1x damage. You hit a fire on a grass, now you're dealing 2x. You hit fire on a flying grass Pokemon, now you're dealing 4x. I don't think there's any game in history that said you use proper attacking and now you get 50x the damage. I just don't think that needs to.
Okay. Okay, I think first of all, I think we need to kind of establish that it's not something like this. The way HP inflation works is also because, yes, absolutely, they want to make all these units stronger. They want to make all these bosses stronger. And another factor to kind of consider is, on top of the HP inflation, they also introduce all these like Memory of Chaos buffs. And these buffs, they also get a lot stronger with the HP inflation, which is one of the ways to kind of combat the HP inflation being that bad for players who are concerned with endgame and they can't clear them with the rate up unit, because a lot of these buffs, they deal a significant chunk of damage. So even if you're using like these kind of old units, sure, you can't clear them in like maybe like 0 or 1 cycles, but if you were to go ahead and try that like 4 or 5, it is a lot more doable than even if you want to compare it to the start. So for example, the clear rate for like Memory of Chaos at the start of the game, it was like very, very low. Like even like 1.1 or 2, it actually gets higher and higher over time. I think one is because people just haven't built the units yet, and then two is also because they introduced a lot of these, like namely supports. Supports make the game a lot stronger, which is why I feel that personally, Rame was the one that tipped the power balance, because it is basically Honkai support rail. She amplified everyone by so much, and the same for Robin, same for Sunday, Sparkle a little bit, and etc. etc. So because of this, HP inflation is definitely a thing. But if you were to make use of the Memory of Chaos buffs, it is not a point where players who only put for all units would suffer to the point where they can't even clear the game anymore. Especially, we're not talking about casuals, we're talking about people who actually want to clear the game. But of course, if you pull a new unit on release, what they do is they can make use of these buffs like even better. So it's not really like they deal like 10 times or 50 times more damage, but they just deal like, they synergize the buffs a lot more, as well as the right enemy weaknesses. So they end up feeling better, despite the fact that it's not really a like 50x or 15x compared to the old units. It's more like just because they are more suitable to the environment, which they are still, at the end of the day, artificially inflating, creating FOMO to appeal the new units more than the old units. Yeah.
Yep. I agree. Okay. Once again, totally agree with you. Play to the buffs, you'll win the game, right? Easy. What I want to know is, long term, what do you think that leads the player base towards? Do you think it's positive or negative having to play around the buffs rather than play around your characters?
Ooh, this is quite interesting, because it has always been the buffs, because the buffs matter a lot in the end game. And if the players that only want to play around their characters most of the time, and they don't want to use the buff, they are probably like super elites. Like they want to do 0 cycles, because 0 cycles most of the time they can't even make use of the buffs. So I feel that for these players, they will feel worse, because now they put these characters, it is a lot more difficult to not use the buffs and do zero cycles. So they'll 100% feel worse, and they would be feeling more pressure to pull the latest unit to achieve these kind of like zero cycles and just ignore the buffs. But the flip side is, right?
Once again, real quick, I will say I feel no sympathy for anybody who says boo hoo wah, I can't zero cycle.
Yeah,
I don't care.
That's
you
great.
know.
Yeah.
I don't care. I want to put that out there. Go ahead.
Nah. So I think the flip side is because they also want to introduce, on top of these different buffs, new enemy units as well. So I think, for example, you mentioned like if only an enemy could receive more damage during their turn, then that will make DOT stronger, right? I think they could definitely make more, but they have released new enemy variants every single major patch as of now. We have Fule, we have the Puppet Trio, and all these different like new bosses, like boss units. They do tend to favor a single archetype more than others. So for example, Fule was better with follow-up because the more you hit him, you can reuse the stacks. Then the Trio, it was like very good for like AoE and Super Break because like they have a shared health pool. Same for the TV boss. And then in version 3, they're also probably releasing new bosses. So I also don't think it's as rigid as it seems. Yeah, because they are introducing new enemies, yeah.
Which one was good for Dot?
DOT, honestly, they just need a new unit at this point because they are basically like a old car that hasn't got an upgrade for a super long time. At this point, DOT definitely needs a better support in order to make them feel as good again. Or you pull with the islands. So DOT is just neglected. So yeah.
Now the problem is, and this is my big issue with power creep. I'm a guy who plays the characters that I like. I skipped Zhao Cho because the guy looks stupid as fuck. Oh, he kills people by using soup. He's a healer who can't heal. Like, when I heard of Zhao Cho, he was originally sold to me back in 1.0, by the way, as Pela alt with a heal. That's what I was told he was. That is not what he came out to be.
Yeah, that's insane.
Now, my problem is now I really want to play Dot. What's going to happen if when that Dot enabler comes out and they look stupid as shit again? Because I agree, my Dot could work with Acheron if I pulled Zhao Cho. I'm just not going to pull Zhao Cho.
Absolutely.
Dot is so fucking weak, I might end up having to pull some retard to make the characters that I like work.
Yep. Okay, I 100%. Okay, wait. First of all, I remember this memory zone meme, like the guy that killed Firefly. He was pretty good with Dot because the little prisons in there. Dot. Okay, but anyways, this argument, I feel like you probably wouldn't face it as commonly. I don't think it's everyone, but I don't think it's as common for the hardcore players that cares about like this kind of endgame, because they would just pull for meta units that make their team stronger. Yeah, sure, the guy is probably gonna look like shit, but if we're talking about the hardcore players that care about endgame, they would just don't give a shit and they just pull anyways, because that would be their priority. But yeah, you're definitely valid though, if you want to feel your way. Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like the majority, maybe I'm wrong here. I think, I would love to know your opinion. I do think the majority of players are, I'm going to pull the characters that I like, and if I don't like them, I'm not going to pull them.
Sure, but if they were in this camp, most of them also wouldn't care about endgame. And then the power creep issue wouldn't affect them.
Sure, but I think there are some people who think...
Yeah, there are some. There are definitely some here and there, yeah, but the majority wouldn't. Yeah.
By the way, is Tribby the Dot enabler?
I have no idea what she does.
I hope to God she's not, because I am not pulling that retard-looking character. Absolutely not.
Okay.
I am hoping to God she is dog shit. I am horrified with that stupid... I'm not using babies on my team, all right? I'm just not...
You use Verena, right?
Verena. Oh, her?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but she makes the game so nice, and I got it for free.
Oh, okay. Then what if this new Dot makes the game so nice? You know, you can...
Here's the thing. I didn't have to pull for Verena.
Okay, that's
right.
Fair. Yeah, that's fair.
I just got it for free.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah.
So, she's a standard unit. I might as well.
Okay.
But there was like, oh, Verena banner. I'm pulling on that. I would have never. But I was like, oh, I just get a free Verena. Okay, I'll use it, I guess.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair.
Hopefully that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, I'm good. Now, if a dumb baby came onto my account and made Dot work that I got for free, sure, I'll use it. But I ain't gonna roll for it. Absolutely not.
Yeah,
too much. Yeah. All right. Do you think that the current trajectory of honkaistarrail is a good one or a bad one?
I honestly think it's pretty good. I like it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I bet. Hey,
Should I explain? Or
you don't have to if you don't want to. I'm just wondering.
okay,
I mean,
think it's okay. Okay, I'll just explain it. Right, I think it's pretty good because even though they make like all these like HP invasion power creep, there hasn't reached the point where your older stuff is like completely forgotten. And if you're a new player starting in Honkai Star at any point, you will always get this huge like boost of power when you pull on that new unit. So if I were to, let's just say for example, if I were to start Honkai Star right now, and I put on D Herta, I'll have a pretty enjoyable playing experience. I'm not even going to use my account as an example because technically it's just unreadable, it's a whale account. So if I were to start if I'm a new player, I start right now, I get D Herta. I feel like I'll have a lot of fun playing with D Herta. And looking back, you wouldn't need to think about all those old banners. So you would just keep looking forward. And from the way it's balanced so far, I don't think there has been that big of an issue. And I'm talking about if the player cares about like meta, he's not just a casual, he's not just a proof of waifu. If I want to try to optimize my team, I think the way Honkai Star is doing right now is completely fine. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I think Honkai Star will be fine. I mean, obviously, I'm worried about the future, but right now we're kind of dealing in what ifs.
Yep.
Right, and that's kind of the whole. And I don't like arguing what ifs. What if this? What if that? What if Dwayne gets hit by a meteor? What if Dwayne gets stepped on by a dinosaur? Which is weird because that actually happened on live stream. But like, I mean, what's the point? You know what I'm saying? We can only see what's in front of us. And let's for example, like the 8 banner system. It could be good. It could be bad, but we're gonna have to see how it goes.
Sure.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're pretty much on the same page here, MrPokke. I'll be real. I really do. I mean, you know, obviously we had that disagreement. And I think we came to a mutual understanding that it's an issue created by the company that can be circumvented by the players. That's pretty much the only difference that we got to a mutual agreement on, which I think is great. Other than that, I mean, I think that we're fine. I mean, I don't really got anything else that I need to talk about. Is there anything else that you want to talk about?
Nah, I think I'm fine. But okay, I just want to ask one thing. My point was this was a problem for the greedy and stupid players. Do you think there are more players that would have this problem aside from greedy and stupid players?
Well, no, because gacha games are meant to invite greedy and stupid players. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, then that's great. Yep. Even though it's just these two, but it's like a huge camp of people, and a lot of them are just pressed because it's like me calling out a gambler with a gambling problem, and they're angry. That's what I feel, right? They want me to call out the house, they want me to call the casino. It's bad, but they don't want to acknowledge that they have a gambling problem. That is what I feel is going on so far. But yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, don't go to Vegas if you don't want to gamble. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah. Just don't.
Yeah, I mean, those people who read it that way are silly. But I feel like for me, the only issue that I had was it sounded like you were blaming the players when it is an issue created by the company. That's the only thing that I had an issue with. I will never even remotely want anyone to think that I'm defending a fucking gacha company on their business practices.
Yeah, absolutely not. Yeah, powercreep is all kind of company made.
This is across the board, like Woo-Wah, ZZZ, HSR, Genshin. I'm never going to defend a single one of these fucking companies for their malpractices. And yeah, I think they just do bullshit. But yeah, guys, what do you think? I mean, I feel like me and MrPokke had a great, very productive conversation. Anything y'all agree or disagree with?
I'll see 20 death threats on the Tectone's DGens later.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll probably see about that.
All right, we'll see.
Great, all good, freedom. Great debate. Yeah, I think it was a great discussion. I feel like we got further towards the truth. We found out what is possible, what's not possible. And we all agree that Silver Wolf is the beginning of the end and she's the worst character in the fucking game. I feel like it was great.
It's great, man. Yeah. Enjoy the rest of your stream, bro. I'll drop by.
Hold on, let me just double check. I want to make sure that chat make sure they don't have anything else they want to say. It's not the player's fault with the company. It is the company's fault. However, the player has the power to circumvent that issue, which once again could lead to long-term dissatisfaction. However, we can't speak in absolute, so what's the point? Right? Yeah, there's a smack clip that chat wants me to react to. I'm going to send it to you right now, MrPokke.
Sure.
It'll be in your DMs. Let me know when you click this, and we're going to watch it at the same time.
Is Discord? Okay.
Yep.
Because my Discord is acting up. Okay, I clicked it. I think. Wait.
All right, here we go.
Wait. Hold up. Okay.
Do you think Pokke's tweet did justice to his point? It's literally just like if he changed the wording slightly, it would have been fine. There was a slight
I see it.
misword for this. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
I hereby confess. First of all, I stand corrected. I didn't know this. Secondly, that's insane, man. I mean, to be honest with you, that's insane. Gamers. This changes everything. Well, then I can't even give him the benefit of the doubt of like him misspeaking. Because my rebuttal earlier is maybe Pokke doesn't know because English isn't his first language, but he actually does know it actually is his first language. So that's crazy.
I'm not sure if this is what he's saying, but he's putting this. There's no power creep on top of my face.
That was my
And we
editor,
also
by
have
the way.
another creator
Okay,
like
hold on,
he's
hold
putting this. There's no power creep on top of my face.
There's no power creep. Tectone put this. Okay.
No,
And we
I
also
don't
have
know.
another creator like VSV Viction. honkaistarrail has no power creep.
Okay.
Right? So these are the little silly goobers.
Yeah. Anyways, W editors.
Why are they silly?
Good
Okay, that's
shit.
it. Oh, okay, yeah, W editors. Yeah, W editors. Yippee.
But yeah, cool.
Yeah, cool. Bro, I think we had a great time, man. I'll drop by. Have fun for the rest, bro. Yeah.
I think the problem is, Mr. Pokke, is that too many people were fixated on getting a win or getting a loss, when in reality, in terms of these discussions with two logical beings approach each other, the only objective should be getting closer towards the truth.
Yeah. Okay, but the thing is, majority of the community wouldn't feel that. A lot of people want to just see who win, who lose. Yours, mine, like everybody just want to see like it's their streamer, it's their they have to win. So like, it's just it is what it is. That's why I'm like this whole thing. It really was not intended to start war. It was just I feel like it's a pretty interesting topic for conversation and discussion in the community. But like because majority of like chatters they'll feel like fuck this guy, I'm kill him. So like it's just you just can't get anywhere, bro. Yeah.
Okay, well, hold up. Let's talk about that.
Sure. Sure.
Hold up. What do you mean none of this was to start war, Mr. Pokke? What do you mean about that?
Okay, I do feel that I just want to talk about this conversation and just see what are the differences in opinions. If I wanted to start war, okay, in my opinion, a war, if I want to start war, would be to personally attack something. I think that is starting war. Would you
Okay.
agree? Yeah.
Well, I mean, you did personally attack people, though.
I didn't personally attack a single individual, though.
Well, yeah, but you personally attacked a conglomerate of people.
Okay, you know
You
what?
called stupid?
Okay, I stand corrected. You know what? My bad. I personally attacked those people that were, stupid and greedy, and now they're offended. You know what? I take it. Yep, I started a war with these people.
Okay.
Bye.
I was
Sure.
Like-
Yep, I did. With these group of people, I did. Yeah. But the thing
Yeah,
is,
and
I didn't. I wanted to have a conversation about it. But yep, you're right. I drew first blood. Then. Yeah, I drew first blood. Yep.
Right. And to be fair, I loved it. Right. That's what I do every day I go live. I say, "Oh, these Genshin players are fucking retarded." Right. I mean, I don't care. But I mean, I know that I'm starting war when I say that. And you started the war. You're like, "Hey, man, this company, hey, they can fuck you off if they want. You're stupid and greedy." You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. I mean, I mean, you can't get canceled over it. It's funny as fuck. But yeah, I mean, I'm glad that you started the war. Great. Now with that, I think everything is settled.
All right, that's great, man. Thank you so much for the call.
Absolutely, bro. I'll talk to you soon.
All right, bye.
Peace.